Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to everyone. Welcome back to not the K Plus Podcast anymore. We're not the K Plus Podcast anymore. We are now K Plus Media. Welcome to K Plus Media, everyone. Welcome to K Plus Media. Hope everyone is having a lovely and good day today, yesterday, tomorrow, forever. So yes, the name has changed. If y'all didn't see it on social media already, kind of going in a different direction. Kind of wanted to do something different, make a little update, see how this works. And yeah, we are now K Plus Media. So let's whenever you're looking me up, we're K Plus Media, K Plus Sign Media. That's going to be us on YouTube, Instagram, and everything. K Plus Media. So not necessarily a podcast. I'll still do interviews. You guys anybody want to have an interview with me, hit me up. We could get some work done. I'll still interview. I'll still do all that stuff, but I'm kind of diversifying the content more. And I kind of been doing it already, but now just kind of, putting it in the name and, going from there. So K Plus Media, we got it. We got it, K Plus Media. So we got the logos and everything changed up. So that's what this is now, K Plus Media. We're going to be doing a lot more shorts, shorter type of content. I'll still do interview. I still talk to you guys for an hour. I know you guys like to hear me talk and educate and, learn and fail and, whatever. So yeah, we're just going to do it like that. So this is the first official kind of long video since the change. I think the last video I posted was the NCAA gambling ring thing that was in January. So doing this now. Hope you guys once again having a good day. Hope you guys are doing well. Just try your best to be the best you can be every day. Keep on working whatever you're working at. We're 3 months into the year, 3.5 give or take. It's almost April. Time waits for no one. So let's get the work done. Let's be our best selves and let's take it from there. Now, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Follow me. The K Plus Media. K Plus Media, not the K Plus Podcast. Matter of fact, if you type in the K Plus Podcast, it'll probably show up as that because it's been so long. It's going to take a while for it to register. K Plus Media. You guys got it. Love you guys. Let's get this show on the road. Today I want to talk about this isn't really anything breaking news or anything like that. This has been going on, but just try to go into the details of this. The government shutdown. So the government went into a partial shutdown, especially. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. Tripping. Sorry, it's been a while. Give me some grace. It's been a while. Please. Once again, I have my notes here too. The government went into a partial shutdown, specifically targeting Department of Homeland Security, or DHS for short. It officially started January 31st, 2026. So we had a big shutdown end of last year, so now we're in a partial shutdown that started January 31st, 2026. The reason for the shutdown is because Congress, the President, and the Senate apparently cannot come to agreement on ICE and border protection reform. As we know, ICE has, since Trump got into office and, got official and everything, ICE has been running rampant around the country with the raids, picking up people, deporting people. I know they got a job to do. I get it. We can't have, illegal criminals, immigrants running across the streets. I get it. I understand that. But I myself didn't like some of the way they were doing certain things. They were acting very crazy on these streets. They were acting real crazy on these streets. If I say so myself, they was going crazy. And most of us remember, unfortunately, the tragedies in Minnesota where 2 people got killed, during, ICE raids or protests and all this and everything, man. And it's sad, thing about protests. I'll just say this as a side note. There's people that definitely want to have peaceful protests. We're going to have a peaceful protest, make the flyers, put it over social media so people could pop out. But then there's always going to be some bad apples that's going to try to use the peaceful protest as a mask to incite violence, whether they're going to burn a car down or throw a rock at the ICE agent. I don't want them getting attacked now, but I understand. So essentially, Democrats want ICE agents to have more restrictions, i.e. body cameras turned on, no mask, and essentially stop roaming the neighborhoods of the country so much. I can dig that. I don't see why they have to have masks on as opposed to like police officers who don't have masks. ICE agents don't roam the streets like police do. I would figure police would be more at risk of having exposure with their faces shown. As opposed to ICE agents always having masks, but I get it. I don't know why ICE agents don't have body cameras on. They should be. Uh, they should have body cameras on without question. I don't know why that's even a thing. So yeah, I don't mind that, and they don't have to be roaming all over the neighborhoods like that. I get it. I really and truly get it. I really and truly get it. Republicans don't really want, just in general terms, don't really want all the ICE restrictions. So now stalemate. They can't agree, so the government shuts down. I personally find government shutdowns, I don't like it, and I find it comical as just the layman's terms reason. So let's just put it this way. Let's just put it in absolute this way. Government shutdown essentially when Congress, Republicans and Democrats, they can't agree on how to fund. They cannot agree on how to fund the country. They can't agree. I want $1 million here. I want $1 billion here. They can't agree. So the government shuts down. So federal employees, after a while, is going to stop getting paid if the government goes on that long. All the while, these politicians, congressmen, members, senates, etc., who make well over six figures, by the way, still get paid. If you didn't know that, they still get paid. They still make the money. So is there an urgency when the government is shut down? I mean, they're not really hurt. They're getting paid handsomely. If that, they're getting paid still, as opposed to the TSA workers or the federal workers and everything like TSA I'm going to get to in just a quick second. So that's always been a thing for me, is like, how is the government shut down? Y'all still get to get paid. Why don't you guys? Why y'all got to get paid as opposed to everyone else? Everyone else's job is important too, but they're politicians, I guess, so they got to make their money regardless. So that's always something I've always found interesting and weird. If the government shut down, why should y'all get paid? But they're essential, and I think it's protected by the Constitution that they do get paid. So yeah, that's just how it is. So regardless of how long a shutdown goes down, or whenever a shutdown happens, the people who is in charge of agreeing and signing stuff to prevent a shutdown gets paid regardless. So do they really lose at the end of the day? That's a story for another time. Most notably, the agency that always seems to get caught in the crosshairs of these shutdowns is the TSA, the Transportation Security Agency. I hope I'm saying that right. People who have been working in TSA and air traffic control and stuff like that just cannot catch a break this past year or two. It's like every year it's risk of a shutdown. Every year. And the longest shutdown in history occurred late last year, 43 days. People weren't getting paid. And it's sad. I know a couple of people that work in TSA and they work hard jobs. I've worked in, customer service and, protection and all this stuff. I've worked in similar fields, and it sucks. It really does suck. And they just can't seem to come to agreement. So listen here now. It's currently spring break. Spring break, I think, started this week. Everybody and their mama is going to Florida and Texas, Houston, whatever. Everybody and their mama is going to be traveling. Extra stress on TSA because they're not getting paid. I think the last time the people that work in like Homeland Security Division and so forth, I think the last check they got was February 14th. I think that was their last check around that time frame. It's March 16th. Am I tripping? It's March 16th today. Y'all will have this posted by March 17th. So about a month, no payment. All the while, this is one of the most busiest times of year for traveling, seeing that it's spring break. So they're working for no money. Airports are packed like sardine, as they say back home. Airports packed. People coming in droves to go, do spring break activities in spring break places. Miami, Daytona Beach, Texas, whatever they want to go. And people are not getting paid. It's sad. It sucks, and I hate that. I really do hate that. And you know what, man? I'm not shocked if people walk off the job or quit while they're working. I'm not shocked. Because I never worked for TSA personally. I never worked there. I've looked at it as a job to work before. At one point, I've looked at it, and I'll say this, and I'll be honest. Sometimes people aren't the nicest when they are late to their flight. They usually take out the frustrations on the people that work in the airports. TSA may be included. So it's customer service is not always easy. They got to do a hard job. They're on their feet long times, dealing with hundreds of thousands of passengers, and they're not getting paid. Come on, government. Come on, we got to do better. We absolutely have to do better. So us as citizens, let's show TSA some grace. If we're traveling anytime within the next couple weeks, let's show them some grace. Let's show them some grace. They got kids, they got bills to pay, they got debts to pay, but they're not getting paid, and they're working, and they ain't gotta be there. So let's show them some grace as they go through this time, my fellow people. Listen, if I was working for TSA during a time like this now, I might have called out at least once a week sick every week. I might do it because, let's be real here. It's like you're working for pay. No, you're working for no pay, but then remembering, if I call out, I'm putting extra strain on my fellow coworkers. So I don't want to do that either. So it's just a tough position, man. And I know there's other agencies that's probably going through this as well, but most notably TSA is always the one that stands out. This article here, this released about 6 days ago. TSA absences doubling during shutdown. 300 officers quit. 300. Y'all ever seen the movie 300? Good movie, by the way. It may not seem a lot in the grand scheme of every state in the country. 300, that's not, but still, that could increase. And then then they get on you for not coming to work. But it's like, what are y'all expecting people to do? We gotta get paid. Y'all see gas prices? Y'all see them gas prices? Nowadays, I passed by a gas station I like to go to. It said $3.99. I said, what? $3.99. I don't think I've ever seen gas so high since I've been here. I don't recall. $3.99. Because they got their Iran conflict that they're dealing with. That I already talked about in the previous video. $3.99. Got bills to pay. Got food to eat. They're not getting paid. So I really hope. And this situation may have future blowback, in reference to like TSA and, federal agencies. Because I feel like, it's going to be short-staffed. Even if it's probably already short-staffed, it might be even worse. It might, because if people from the outside considering a place of employment, seeing that, every year or every 6 months, the TSA or whatever agency is always threatened to a government shutdown and then they're not going to get paid, who's going to want to work there? Benefits are great, I bet. But every 6 months, you might not get paid for a couple weeks. Like all the time. So I feel like this could have future blowback going down the line if they gotta work. They gotta come to terms. They gotta come to terms, man. And it really sucks. I really hope they can find a resolution as soon as possible. It's been about a month, I think, give or so, since they last got paid. Senators, politicians, president, y'all gotta fix it. Y'all gotta, sacrifice and just, take the L and just, whether it's Democrat or Republican, and just get it done. Because y'all getting paid. Y'all are getting paid, once again, handsomely. Y'all getting paid. And the people that's working in TSA and everywhere else, everybody who's working should get paid their wages. So hopefully we can find a resolution to this. And we'll take this show on the road and continue living the life we got to live. That is all I have for you guys today. Remember, we are now K Plus Media. K Plus Media. Not the K Plus Podcast no more. You want to call it that? Fine. But we're K Plus Media. Stay tuned. More content on the way. Weekly. We're going to have weekly content coming. I'm going to work on that. Going to continue working on that, you feel me? Weekly content. So, like I said, follow me on social media. Subscribe to the channel. More content's on the way. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys who've been subscribed to me all this time, who've been following, watching, and all the good stuff. I'm going to keep on bringing the fire. I'm going to keep on bringing the heat. We'll have some guests back soon. We're going to still be doing interviews. Like I said, interviews will still be done. But kind of just changing course in terms of the content I'm making and how I'm making it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching K Plus Media. We are done for the day. We are out. Have a blessed day. I'm out.